Okay, hello. Welcome once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. I am back today. We're going to read Psalm 87. This is a psalm or song for the sons of Korah. Today is January the 12th, 2022. We are going into the third year of the biggest lie ever perpetrated upon the people of the world. Well, I don't know, maybe the second biggest? Probably the second biggest. I'm sure that we could find, we probably have a list of the lies of the world that are probably bigger than this. But all the lies of the world cannot compare to just how bad this one is becoming. But that's a story for another time that I'm really not going to get into today. So this is Psalm 87. His foundation is in the holy mountains. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of God. Selah. I will make mention of Rahab, sorry. It was split. Let me try this again. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This man was born there. And of Zion it shall be said, this and that man was born in her, and the highest himself shall establish her. The Lord shall count when he writeth up the people, that this man was born there, Selah. As well the singers as the players on instruments shall be there. All my springs are in thee. That one was very short. And I messed that up a lot. And I'm thinking one of my biggest problems since coming off of this flu is that when I wake up in the morning, my throat is not perfect, and I don't really realize it until I start talking. But yeah, it's not like I'm going to be coming down here and doing any voice exercises before I start talking. We tend to take these as they are, warts and all. So this one was extremely short, and of course the way I read it didn't make any sense. So we should definitely go over it again, slower. I wonder if I should take a drink of water or something. I'm actually finding out that I can hold down water. As for a while there, I just couldn't hold down water. I was just getting really sick. I could hold down a lot of other things, but it's like if I was drinking water, I just couldn't do it. It's like I was getting really sick and it was making me gag. But I'm getting water down now, so I'm definitely getting better. Definitely getting better. Probably about 97%. I'm not 100%. 97, give or take. So let's read this one again. Let's see if we can, because there was a lot of breaks in between the words, and then there's a very big break at the end of it that sometimes it just doesn't, make sense as you're reading it. Okay. So, his foundation is in the holy mountains. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of God, Selah. So, of course, he loves the city more than any other place. And that's something that a lot of people have said, the city of Jerusalem may very well be the Garden of Eden. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just telling you what I've heard. So you take that with every single grain of salt that you can, because I'm not going to say that, but I have heard people have said that the way that the Bible talks about God's love of the city of Jerusalem is the same way that he talks about where he laid the foundations of the world, where he laid, his garden. So I don't know. Just telling you what I've heard. I will make mention of Rahab. Sorry. Try that one again. Verse 4. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This man was born there. And of Zion it shall be said, this and that man was born in her, and the highest himself shall establish her. The Lord shall count when he writeth up the people, that this man was born there. Selah. Okay. I'm not even going to try to unwrap that other than to say that this and that man was born in her, and the highest himself shall establish her. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to unwrap that. Here's the one that gave me problems. As well, the singers. Let me see if I can do this. As well, the singers as the players on instruments shall be there. All my springs are in thee. Okay. It was short and sweet, and I'm sure it means something more than what I know, but right now I'm not even going to try to unwrap that one. Just for the sake of sometimes maybe you don't have to unwrap Psalms. There's probably something to unwrap there, but I'm not getting the sense that I have to go over it 40 million times, in my head to be able to understand that one. So it is what it is. Not every psalm is going to have some big, profound message to it. And we've said that. Not every psalm is going to have some big, profound message. It means something in the long run. Every one of them means something in the long run. Every verse, every word in this book means something in the long run. You just have to decide how much you want to search that out for yourself. Whereas I'm concerned right now, I'm not going to search that out. That's not where my heart is being led today. Actually, my heart right now is being led to just getting through the day. Just because. I didn't pay attention to anything that happened yesterday. I was zoned out all day. I didn't look at the news. I didn't check much of anything. I just kind of went along with my day, and I was pretty content with it. maybe I just needed a day to unplug from the world. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you definitely need that, is to be able to walk away from it. If you ever get so overloaded with the world, you can say, Father, please let me walk away from the world for a while so that I do not go crazy. And you can do that. Now this time I didn't ask. I just kind of knew that, it was time for me to step away. So I did. So I know nothing of what happened yesterday, other than I I had a tweet that tended to blow up. Or tended to blow up. It blew up. I don't know. I don't think many of my Twitter followers and the people that actually watch these videos, I don't think they're the same. I really don't. I don't even know how many Twitter followers I have. I don't really care. Uh, I'm not into that competition nonsense. I try to find the people that are telling truth. I try to see what they have to say with the world about the world, and I retweet what I see. That sounds, that sounds like news that other people need to hear. That's what I do. Because of that, uh, I don't know if it's just because of the echo chamber that I exist in on Twitter, or if people have just naturally found me as I've gone. Um, I'm pointing towards that Rob Skiba video because that one led a lot of people to my doorstep. Uh, and I was not trying to do that at all. That just that happened. I'm sure if you give it enough time, somebody's going to say I was trying to cash in on a death. I've had so many people every single time I've posted something that somewhere along the line somebody will say, I'm just cashing in on what's happening in the world. Uh, I had somebody tell me that when I started talking about flat Earth, that I was cashing in. Everybody else was talking about it and making money, so I was too. And I thought that was funny because I was like, I had at the time I had like maybe 100 subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, my 100 subscribers, woohoo! My 1 to 2 views per video, they're really coming in to drop down that cash on me for believing that the Earth is flat. So, but I've had that several different times, several different ways where people have said that, and it blows my mind every single time I see it. It's like, man, what? How in the world could you even assume? But then again, people will assume the craziest stuff ever, so whatever. Uh, but yeah, that video was definitely not about cashing in on the death of anybody. That was just what I had to say at the time. But that has opened so many different doors to so many different people that you cannot deny the power behind that. I can't deny the power behind that. That is that has led me to find a group of people inside of Indiana that we all have the same understandings of the world, and it's cool that I have that. That's led me to find more people out in the Twitter universe. Not so much Facebook, because Facebook is just a virus, just a disease. Um, but it's helped. It's helped in ways that I can't say. So I I'm glad I did it, I guess. But anyways, um, there's enough people on Twitter that when I post something, that people actually hear it, and it gets circulated every now and then. One of them gets picked every now and then. One of them will get picked up, and it'll get circulated, and then everybody has to comment on my post, and it's like, well, whatever, I don't really, I don't feed the trolls anymore. Um, I used to say things here and there, but not so much anymore. It's become pointless. People are just not going to hear you no matter what. You can argue until you're absolutely blue in the face on Twitter, saying a million different words, and nobody's gonna hear it. Even if you give them cold hard facts, even if you show them 100 times, the same thing over and over again, if they're not going to hear it, they're not going to hear it. That's something I have talked about somewhat at length over the past several years. It's just that people's minds have just become so closed. It's that it's become less about trying to find any sort of truth and only finding either what they were told to believe or just what they believe, period. And it's the old line that because they chose not to believe the truth, that God will send them strong delusion so that they can believe the lie. And that's where most people are. It sounds terrible again when you say it. I know it sounds terrible. Every time I read it or think it, I'm like, it just sounds so bad, and people don't like to hear it. People will get very, very vicious with you for even remotely suggesting that they are unrighteous. But it's like, that's what it says. What can I say other than that's what the Bible says? You choose not to hear it because you're enjoying your life too much. You don't want to try to change. So God's not going to let you change. He's going to let you have it. You want it? Here, you can have it. He's shows how much of a loving God he is. He'd rather you live in your delusions and enjoy yourself than, try to force you to listen to his ways. I can just hear people, other people, if they heard that, the first thing they think is, oh, but that's not how, church people, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, we ain't church people up in here. We're not church people. We believe in the Bible. We follow the Bible. We believe that it is the one true source. And the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible doesn't say I have to force you to do anything. The Bible tells me I'm supposed to tell you what's going on. And then if you don't want to take it, then fine. I'll move on. I'll go do something else. I'll go try to save somebody else. It's people like the ones that are ruining your life right now. Those are the ones that are trying to tell you if you don't follow our ways, then we're going to yada, yada, yada. And yes, the people at the top have used the religion for their own benefit in order to be able to further their agendas, possibly even to ruin the good name of the religion. Think about that one for a second. Some people don't think about that. Is that, they're the church, in all of their infinite wisdom, fighting all those wars in the supposed name of God, that has ruined the name of God by by fighting wars in his name that weren't supposed to be fought. You know, have you ever once considered that maybe that was the point, was just so it would ruin God? Then of course everybody would probably say, well, even your Bible says the devil cannot cast out the devil. Well, maybe, just maybe, that wasn't anything good or bad to start with. Maybe that it was meant to be something. The church was meant to be something bad to begin with. Again, not the people that believe in the Word of God, but the people that have corrupted it before then. It doesn't make any sense. Well, read your book. It makes sense. It will make sense. It's not a contradiction. It's really not. It sounds confusing, and if that's the best way to put it. Best way to put it would be that because it was never a thing of God, or maybe it was a thing of God at one point, but the devil corrupted it. That it was not the devil, it was not Satan twisting something in order to hurt Satan. It was Satan twisting something in order to hurt something of God. Does that make sense? It's like the church wasn't made just a at the beginning of the church. And I'm not talking about, after the apostles and all that other kind of stuff. I'm talking about like 4th century Constantine, whenever he created the Roman Catholic Church, which is what everybody considers the church, and which is what most churchianity right now still follows. I mean, really, what happened to the Protestant movement? I thought you people protested this stuff, but you're just following right along with everything that they did anyways. So it doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, we're talking about like 4th century, whenever Constantine created the church, or yeah, he switched his religion supposedly, and that was whenever the church, Roman Catholic Church, was created, and it wasn't created. It wasn't created so that they could have a place of their own to put all of their pagan holidays and all the other stuff. It was created to ruin what was already there, ruin the belief systems that were already in place. I'm sure a lot of people can probably argue that too. They probably don't like the sound of that. They don't like the way that that's coming out. But what if that was the case? What if that was just simply to tear down the church? To tear down the name of the church? They just, the absorbing all the pagan holidays and absorbing all the rituals and all the other stuff that just happened to come with it. I mean, what if that was part of the point? I don't know. I can't really tell you. That's something you're going to have to find out on your own. I think I'm probably going way too deep in on this, and I probably shouldn't be. That's not really something I wanted to talk about anyways, but it's just, it's those kinds of things that you just kind of, you gotta, in the larger picture, just kind of put it together, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I didn't want to get into all this stuff. I really didn't want to get into all this stuff. I was talking about some crazy Twitter post that is absolutely blown up and just people running their mouths, talking just absolute amounts of garbage. Uh, but it was a meme about the moon uh, being its own light source. You know, they were talking about how a sphere, when there's a light that's shined upon it, it has a hot spot and then it creates its own shadows. Um, but when the moon is lit up, it's lit up perfectly all the way around. And of course, once you even suggest that anything is different than what people believe, um, everybody comes out and has their opinion. 9 times out of 10, it's all the same opinions. Most times it's, I actually had somebody, and I never even thought in a million years that I would have this, but on one of my posts, one of the replies to my posts, was somebody said, and here's a picture of the Earth from NASA. And it's like, uh, uh, uh. It's like I see him on other people's posts all the time. Some of the different flat Earth guys that I follow, and they constantly retweet these where they talk about the the guys that will just post a picture of the Earth and just say, "See, somebody took a picture of it." And I never thought in a million years it'd happen to me, but it did, and I'm like, uh, uh. It just leaves such a bad taste in your mouth too. It's like, really? But yeah, same old arguments. I mean, it's just the same stuff I see constantly, over and over and over again, and every single bit of it devolves down to name calling, and it's not the flat Earth people that are calling names. I'm just saying that right now. It's not. It's everybody else. It's all the little it's all the little jabs, like, if you research flat Earth, you turn into a moron. Those kinds of things. See, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The little laughing emoticons that follow everything that they want to put on there, like it's the biggest joke in the world. You're funny. I don't even respond to it. I haven't responded to any of it. I just let it go because they're not going to hear. They're so past the point of hearing. And I got to find it because I got to be able to read it. I went out and I found the 2 verses that perfectly sums up everything. That perfectly sums it up. I wrote both verses down. Then I took a screenshot of it because Twitter will not let me post the whole thing. So I had to take a picture of it, screenshot. But the first verse is 2 Thessalonians 2:11 and 12. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And then the second verse is Enoch 87. Enoch 80, verse 7. There you go. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them. When you put those 2 verses together, 3 verses together, in context of the in context of space, you know what's going on. Now, whenever you read Enoch 80, it's a little bit different than what you think it is, but it's still the same concept. Is that when it comes to what's happening out in the sky, it will be concealed from the sinners. It will be concealed from those that are so stuck in their righteousness that they'll just believe the lie. I mean, Enoch 80 goes on to talk about how the stars will be misconstrued for gods, which is what they are anyways. Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, those are gods. Venus, those are gods. Mars, those are gods. And they will be misconstrued for gods. Let me find the actual quote for you. See if I still have it. No, I don't. I have to go dig it up again. Enoch 80. Oh, but Enoch's it's just extra biblical. It doesn't matter. Just like the book of Jasher. It may not be canonical, or it may not be what people think is canonical. It may not be what people think is biblical, but that book knows a lot more than you do. For whatever reason, that book knows way more than you do. The people that wrote it know way more than you do. Where am I at here? Okay, here we go. So, I have revealed everything to you. How everything works, pretty much, is what it was. Is that the angels talking to Enoch, saying, I've showed you how everything works," which is interesting because here it goes. And in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be tardy on their lands and fields, and all things on the earth shall alter, and shall not appear in their time, and the rain shall be kept back, and the heavens shall withhold it. Now, straight up, if you want to talk about stuff like that, and you can kind of say, well, that hasn't happened yet. What if it has? Because the deserts of the world used to be forests. They found that. Over and over again, they found that the deserts of the world were never deserts. It's that they had trees, they had rivers, they had water, they had all kinds of flowing water and deciduous trees, and they're finding out that some of the places of the world that are really fruitful now, if you take away the fact that most of all the places that are really fruitful now were covered by 30 feet of dirt, really rich soil. They're finding out that most of those places were the places that were dead. So, yes, the entire world has changed. Everything has flipped on its head. They've proven this over and over again. They talk about, the ability for big animals to be able to live up in the mountains of deserts. That they said it's just impossible. That everything in Antarctica was probably, a paradise. But it's all dead now. Everything's changed. The world has changed. How are the years shortened for the sinners? I don't know. I don't know how that works yet. I can tell you that somebody has changed the calendars. Something's changed. I don't know. I don't, it's, this book knows more than you do. I'm just saying that right now. In these times the fruits of the earth shall be backward, and shall not grow in their time, and the fruits of the trees shall be withheld in their time. And of course, with that, you talk about these scientists that say that our seasons have flipped. Well, they want to say that the axis of the Earth is twisted or something, and that the magnetic poles have turned so much so that the entire world is kind of backwards from the way it used to be, and all this stuff. I've heard this for years, and I was like, that just sounds ridiculous. But in this kind of context, it's like maybe there is something there. We talk about these natural calamities, these disasters that have happened. Something happened that flipped the world on its head. And I'm not talking about some round spinning earth. I'm talking just something happened that flipped everything. So what if that's the cause of it? It's possible. This book knows more than you do. And the moon shall alter her order and not appear at her time. Which I've talked about the sun and the moon. Both are they're out of their positions, especially the sun. I said because the old calendars, that when you look at the old calendars, you look at the new calendars, they don't make any sense because the old calendars used to be 360 days, which was 13 months of, or no, what was it? It's 364 days. Was that right? Or no, it was 360 days because it was. Oh God. I have to grab my calculator real quick because I figured it out. It was 13 months at 28 days a pop. 364. I was right for the second time. I was right the second time. But the sun is off its kilter somehow. And I said because, there was the one day in the Bible where I don't remember who it was right now asked that the sun stop. That was the one day, and then the other day is whenever whoever the other person was, I think it was Elijah, uh, asked for the sun to be pulled back 10 degrees. That's your half. That's your day and a half. That's 360 or 365 and a quarter is what it was. 365 days and one quarter. So, things have changed. Things are different than they used to be. In those days, the sun shall be seen. He shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot. Of course, you have to. If you even, you're going to hurt yourself trying to understand the how the order of the stars of the sun work for Enoch. I'm sure there's people that have done it. I just, for me, it's the whole portals thing. I haven't figured it all out yet. Dead air, nose blowing. Okay. Uh, and shall shine more brightly than accords with the order of light. And many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order prescribed, and these shall alter their orbits and tasks, and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. Which again, when you listen to astronomers and astrologers, they always talk about how there's. I mean, they wanted to add what is it? A Fiscus, a Fuchsius, the 13th constellation. They wanted to add back in a couple years back because there used to be 13, and now suddenly there's 12 because the order has shifted. The order has changed. The Bible says that man will try to change the order of the stars in the heavens in the final days, in the last days. That's where we are. And it seems like a lot of this has only changed within the past, couple hundred years. It all fits together. It all ties together in this weird kind of way. It's just trying to find out what it was like before the 1800s. That's where you start getting into some problems because the history they give us doesn't match what we can read, what we can see, what we can find for ourselves. Something changed. Something happened. Something big happened. Like I said, it all fits. All right, and so then we get to verse 7. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them. And they shall be altered from all their ways. Yea, they shall err and take them to be gods. And evil shall be multiplied upon them, and punishment shall come upon them so as to destroy all. And of course, there's some verses here. there's some actual Bible verses here. Do I want to? I'll just look them up in the book. I don't want to have to type them in. This might even take me a second. Deuteronomy 17:3. Deuteronomy 17:3. Let's see what that has to say. Deuteronomy 17:3. Let's go back to 17:2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God in transgressing his covenants, and hath gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that woman or that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. Deuteronomy 17:3 has to do with, yea, they shall err and take them to be gods. The whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, and they shall take them to be gods. This says wisdom 13:3. Is that like the book of wisdom? What's Jeremiah 8:2? Probably the same thing. I must be onto something because the Father has let me go right to Jeremiah 8, which is a beautiful thing. They shall spread them before the sun and the moon and all the host of heaven, whom they have loved and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped. They shall not be gathered, nor be buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth. That is a beautiful line. I've never seen that before. Man, that is an amazing line. And then it's Romans 1:25. Romans 1:25. I just happened upon this, man. This is the Father speaking. Romans 1:25. Let's go back one. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Damn. That's amazing. Oh, look, it's funny. They actually never. I didn't even have to look them up in the book. It was cool that I did it though. But no, they actually have the verses. If I just scroll down on the page just a little bit. So what is this Wisdom 13:1-3? For all the people were ignorant of God, who were ignorant of God, were foolish by nature, and they were unable from the good things that are seen to know the one who exists. Nor did they recognize the artisan while paying heed to his works. But they supposed that either fire or wind or swift air, or the circle of the stars, or turbulent water, or the luminaries of heaven, the wandering stars of heaven, were the gods that rule the world. If through delight in the beauty of these things people assume them to be gods, let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the authority of beauty created them. Wow. Just wow. What? I mean, is it actually a thing, this Book of Wisdom? I mean, is this like, is it Apocrypha? Let me see if this is what this is. The Book of Wisdom or the Wisdom of Solomon. Oh, it's the Wisdom of Solomon. I've heard of that. So the Book of Wisdom. Well, son of a gun. That's something I need. That is something I need if it's going to be that good. Because that's good. That's big stuff, man. Just that whole line alone. But they suppose that either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the stars or turbulent water or the luminaries of heaven were the gods that rule the world. Oh, but the book of wisdom is just apocrypha. You don't need it. You don't need it. Book of Enoch's just apocrypha. You don't need it. Book of Jasher's just apocrypha. You don't need it. No, but I'll tell you what, those books know a lot more than you do. I just saying, those books know a lot more than you do. Wow. Wow. That's some big time stuff, man. I wish I didn't have to go to work because we could keep talking about this. We could seriously keep going on about this. I could probably find like 20 more verses that fit into this if I really started looking. I mean, there's other stuff down here. What is this? Jonah 2:8. Those who regard worthless idols forsake their own mercy. Oy! Oh, that one's just brutal, period. What is this? Something WordPress. Who is, I don't know. It's just one of these things that I found. It's just, it just has Enoch chapter 80, and then at the very bottom, these little liner notes, it has Deuteronomy 17:3, which we just read. Wisdom, the Book of Wisdom, Book of Solomon 13, 1 through 3. I need to get that book. Jeremiah 8:2 and Romans 1:25, and then at the very bottom it has Jonah 2:8, and it has Micah 5:9, and 5:9 says, your hand shall be lifted against your adversaries, and all your enemies shall be cut off. I don't think that means anything. I'm logging into my computer right now, so you guys gotta give me a second. But that's big stuff. It may be apocrypha, but those books are smarter than you are. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to listen to me either, but you don't have to listen to those books if you don't want to. You follow the Bible, you hold on to that book, and you use that for all of your doctrine and your belief, and that is fine. You don't have to go outside of that. I think that is there is a reason for that. But if you want to go deeper and really cement everything into place, and I've said this somewhere before, if you really want to cement it's the glue. It's the glue that really pulls everything together. You go outside of the Bible. You find that apocrypha. You find Enoch and Jasher. These books that people say you're not supposed to read. At least give them a look. Because even though they may not be canonical, they may not, you know, they may not follow along with anything that you have or want to do with anything else. They know stuff. The Book of Jasher knows stuff. The Book of Jasher knows stuff that we don't know. It talks about the four fertility and sacrifice rituals that the pagans use. How are you going to know what the four sacrificial or the four fertility and sacrificial rituals are if you've never read the book? How many? I mean, if you go up to the layperson and you ask them, you say, "How many fertility rituals do you have per year?" They don't know what the hell you're talking about. But if you read it in Jasher, there's four. There's four. They split them out 4 times. We have 4 fertility rituals that we follow. We call them holidays. How would you know unless the book told you? The book knows more than you do. How would you know that the people mistook the natural order of the sky, the stars in the heaven, for gods, unless somebody told you? We're told they're just named that just because, that's what our ancestors named them for. Oh, it's just, they just named them after their gods. It's nothing. Even though, we are supposedly a society that has given up on all of our old gods and, we've decided that we're going to become our own people, we're still going to keep their traditions around. Oh, hey, by the way, the Book of Enoch says that they mistook them for gods. How would you know unless the Book of Enoch told you? How would you know? Well, the Book of Wisdom tells you too. Oh, but that's just, it's apocryphal. You don't have to worry about it. Don't read that stuff. There's reasons these things exist. There's reasons these things exist in the world. There's reasons why you're told not to read them. There's reasons why you're told not to listen to people like me. There's reasons why the world has gone above and beyond its own self in order to keep this information from you. And because I've been reading the Psalms, and just about every single one of these Psalms that I've read has talked about how bad and wicked and evil and malicious and everything else that man is behind the scenes, that they will do unto you deceitfully just to hurt you, just because you believe in something they don't believe. They will go out of their way to take that from you, to manipulate you into believing what they want you to believe. And it's been like that for thousands of years. And we are just now starting to crack this. You want to know why we're starting to crack this? Because the Bible itself says in the end times that wisdom shall increase, that there will be books that are opened that we never knew about, our fathers never knew about, our ancestors never knew about, that will be open to us. Whether that is Enoch or Jasher or the Book of Wisdom or anything like that, whether that talks about these books, I don't know. According to the Book of Daniel, it says that there's even more books that are coming that will be opened up in the end times, so that we will increase our knowledge tenfold above that. So there's more coming. But there are reasons all this stuff's happening. It's time to start figuring out what you're going to do, what you're going to start believing, what you're going to start reading, where you're going to go with this. Because this train has officially started moving, and you have to figure out what's going to happen. You have to figure out where you're going to be. So I got to go find this book of wisdom, this book of Solomon, because I don't have this one, and I've heard of it. I've heard of the book of Solomon. I did not know it was referred to as a book of wisdom too. But that right there, whew, or the luminaries of the heavens were the gods that ruled the earth. If through delight in the beauty of these things people assume them to be gods, let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the authority of beauty created them. Wow. Because they mistook them. They mistook them to be other gods. Dead air nose blows. Okay. Wow. Because they mistook them to be other gods. It all ties together. Do I need to read it again? You want me to read it one more time? You want me? Let me. While I've got some time, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. In the whole order, this is Enoch 80, verse 7. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them, and they shall be altered from their ways. Yea, they shall err, and take them to be gods. Then this goes to Deuteronomy 17:3, who have gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon or any of the host of heaven. And then, of course, it goes to the Book of Wisdom. And I'll skip down a little bit. But they suppose that either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the stars or turbulent water or the luminaries of heaven were the gods that ruled the world. If through delight in the beauty of these things people assume them to be gods, let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the authority of beauty created them. If through the delight of beauty, okay, Romans 125, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie and worship and serve the creature rather than creator. And then it all wraps together. One big verse all wraps together. Thessalonians 12, 11, 12. Or Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 2, 11 and 12. I'm sorry. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. I, if you love your unrighteousness so much, God will give it to you. Not only will God give you the delusion to believe the lie because you want to live in your unrighteousness, He'll give you the delusion to believe the lie. He'll let you have the lie. And inside of that lie, He will let you have your worship of your other gods. And that you will err when you look up in the night sky. And you will see what the lies of man, what they want you to believe. You will see what they want you to believe. Because you choose to live your unrighteousness. God gives that to you. Because you choose to see it. You choose to believe it. Because you'd rather follow the beauty of the creation rather than the beauty of the Creator. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve these words. Father, I thank you for giving me these words, but I don't deserve these words. I don't deserve to be able to spread this message. I am just a worthless sinner just like everybody else. But you have chosen to show me the way. And you have chosen to let me be able to put this all together in a way that not only do I understand, that only strengthens my faith, but that I am able to spread this to other people. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I got tears streaming down my eyes, guys. They're streaming down my cheeks. I got tears. I gotta end on that note. That's a beautiful place to stop. That's a beautiful, beautiful place to stop. I don't deserve to be able to preach this. I don't deserve to be able to have half of what I have, but He gives it to me because I've done something right. I've asked for forgiveness, and He has given me forgiveness, and for all the sin that I have done in my life, He has given this to me. So, and He can give it to you. If anybody on here hears my voice and has made it this far into this video, and you do not have the love of God, the love of the Father, the love of Jesus Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach, if you do not have that in your heart right now, all you need to do is come to Him with a clear and pure heart and mean it and ask Him to save you. Ask Him to give you what He has given the rest of us. Ask Him to give you salvation. You don't have to worry about all this the flat earth stuff, the apocryphal stuff. You don't have to worry about all that. Just ask Him to save you from this evil, from this nightmare. And then from there, ask Him to give you the truth. And He'll give it to you. Boy, howdy will He give it to you. He will give you truth beyond your wildest comprehension. And He will show you that you were born into a lie, and He can pull you out of it. For the truth, not the lie, the truth shall make you free. God, it's beautiful. God, it's beautiful. Sometimes it just hits really hard. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to that. Whew. Wow. This is one of those few times where I've come out of one of these where I actually feel better than I went into it. God, it's such a beautiful thing. All right. So I shall talk to everybody later. I got to go to work. I got 2 minutes till I got to work. So thank you all very much for coming around and listening. God bless. Take care. I love you all. I really do. Don't let the message stop with me. Go out, find it for yourself, read it for yourself, spread it around. Don't spread my video. God, that's all I need is more people coming around to my videos and trying to find me. I'm not the best messenger. Don't send people my way. Make your own videos. Do your own research. Do everything that you can for yourself. Don't just take it because I'm spreading it out. Find it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Speak up. Speak out. Speak plainly. Speak truthfully. Ask to be given. Ask to be given the power of speech the way that He gave it to Moses and Aaron. Because Moses could not talk. He was not able to spread the word the way that God wanted him to. So he asked God, give me the ability to speak. And if I can't do it, give it to Aaron. Let him speak. But he gave the voice to Moses. You have to spread it for yourself. Don't just send them to me. Anyone that hears this, you are my second witness, or I can be your second witness. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just do it for yourself. This is how it spreads. This is how we do this. I know I'm trying really hard not to do the whole 90s. This is how we do this dance. Don't. I know I'm having too much fun now. All right, you guys take it easy. I gotta go to work. So God bless you all, and I shall see you whatever later.